Thank you to RSF1090 for their generous donation on Patreon. If you would like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description.
Ooh. I slam the door as Murdoch and Ralph deal with multiple locks. Three of us catch our breath in the doorway, heaving. Did we really just see what I think we saw? There's no way to tell for sure. It could have been a lot of things. Ralph folds back the curtains of his window and takes a look. I don't think we were followed. He sighs with relief. We should eat something. I'm not hungry. Something light then. I'll rehydrate some oats and fruit. I'm not hungry neither. Since when did I offer? Kidding. We all need something in our systems. Now that we're inside and nobody's following us, it suddenly feels a lot harder to be scared. So I start to laugh. What's wrong with you? Nothing at all. Feels like every time I go out after dark, I'm running for my life. Stupid, really. So I crack up again. You really were gone out there, weren't you? Is that your first time puffing cannabis? I just thought how it would feel scarier. Blokes come knocking down my door for it when they need to calm down. Murdoch tugs on my sleeve. Hey. You should check the picture again. Oh. Yeah, you're right. I pull it out of my pocket again, surprised to see that it's still not wrinkled. Shit. There it is, the giant fucking snake. I still see it too. Me as well. Put the damn thing down and tap my fingers on the counter. So you said before that jerking off was all it take to make it go away? You yanking my chain, and was that really true? There's a pause in the air. It did work before. Doesn't mean it would again. And it would be difficult to get in the mood after the experience we just had. Here, Ralph filling up a pan with water from his kitchen. I think hard for a second. I don't know if it's because I'm in a good mood or if the whiplash of being terrified for my life is causing the sudden surge of longing that I have, but I need to know if they're right about this. Why don't you both pay me tonight, then? Excuse me? Sam. This little detour y'all took me on took longer than expected. Probably lost the opportunity for a customer tonight, but since the two of you need to be in a better mood to take care of business, so to speak, why not hire me? Getting folks into the mood is what I'm best at. Ralph and Murdoch put on uneasy looks as they look at one another. I suppose he has a point. More like he's giving you a point. Ralph, you told me before that you wanted this. Not right now. The rat's tone was stern. Use the bedroom if you have to. I'll have food ready when you're both done. There's a tinge of what sounds like frustration in his voice, but I don't have the spoons to be sensitive right now. I like that. They used the spoons. Oh, that's nice. I want this evil out of me. So I tug on Murdoch's sleeve, and he gives me a sly kind of smile. Bedroom's this way. I'm surprised to see two beds in the room. Wait, is this your bedroom too? You live with Ralph? Yeah, we split the rent. Why is that so surprising? Jesus, he can still hear us. Of course I can. The inner walls here are paper thin. But the outer walls aren't. I'd appreciate if you both at least try to keep it quiet. After a night like that, I think I need something loud. Smile at Murdoch. I unhook my suspenders and take off my shirt. I can do loud. The easy way didn't work, so let's try the hard way. Ha! Hard way. Sam, you can cut the theatrics. Nah. Both eyes on me. I slide my paw down my chest, watching him. I know that his attention is mine when his eyes get glassy and his Adam's apple bobs from swallowing his own spit. See? Not as hard as you expected. My hand slides lower over my trousers and I squeeze my groin. What's wrong? I unbuckle my belt and unzip my trousers. Both you and Ralph admitted that you used to spy on me day one. Ralph's gruff voice mumbles from the other side of the walls. All right, Fox. I'll give you that he's pretty, but do you have a way to shut him up? I laugh. You kidding me? He was the one with the full mouth the first time. Well, that's surprising. Oh, that's funny. 'Cause I didn't think so. When somebody's tongue is that excitable, I can tell that they need something. You really should shut up now. He's hard now. His eyes flick from me, then to his pants, as if embarrassed to see that we're not entirely alone this time. That's it. I say slowly, carefully, as I grip myself through my pants. You know the motions. Murdoch comes closer until the tip of his nose is touching mine. He doesn't just smell like fear anymore. I said, shut up. I roll my head on my shoulders, laughing at him, watching him with my eyelids half closed, and I push my... Okay. As if I was tempted to skip before, but yeah, we're going to skip now. Okay. I think I've gotten past it now. They 69'd, and then it turns out Ralph, who was like, oh, I'm not doing anything with you, you fucking assholes. Turns out he jerked off in the living room, but we walked out before he could hide it. Ha ha. But now they're gonna go look at the picture, because that's the whole reason why they're doing it, you know, to get that in their head or whatever. Murdoch stalks out of the room, slinging an arm around my neck and smirking at the scene before him. Ralph is hurriedly wiping himself and hop back into his trousers. That was even better than I thought it would be. No, that was utterly filthy. I don't bother cleaning myself off, neither. I'm too focused on the photograph we left on the kitchen table. And it's gone. No, fellas. That was effective. Murdoch walks up, leers at the picture, then shakes his head. I suppose something's better than nothing. You didn't get to make any food, did you? I didn't think so. Now let's go to bed. You fine with me sleeping here? None of us should go outside until morning. Come sleep with me. The bed's too small for the both of us. Fine, I don't care. I have to hold onto his chest for us both to fit. But when I wake up, he's not there. I half expect to see Cynthia or Madame Dora looking in my face. But I wake up to an empty room, and all last night's memories come back to me. I push the crumpled sheets off me and rub my face. Then I stretch and stumble into the living room of the apartment. Ah, there he is. Ralph is sitting on the table, scooping spoonfuls of oatmeal into his mouth. Where'd Murdoch go? Church. Didn't know he was God-fearing. He isn't. Sad now. And you're not there because I'm a man of science. And sleeping in on Sunday is too good. Why don't your bosses make you go? He laughs. Because they don't care about my mortal soul. I'm not family. I wouldn't really want that family to care about me. That's a ticket. But you know, the real problem is he cares about them, right? Why? I can't pretend to know. My immediate relatives have all been dead for a long time. Mine could be too. Might as well be. Rat shrugs. Can't say I'm envious, based on how small-town families treat one another. Didn't Echo more of a small city than a town? No, where I'm from it didn't. So that explains why he picked that memory last night. My tongue was too loose. If you were going to hear that, it should have been from him. You said you were going to share yours as penance. Before we got interrupted and all. So spill. Heh. Mine isn't particularly traumatic. More of a culmination of dull disappointments and slipping opportunities. I don't know how to do this accent, I'm sorry. He rises from the table and walks over to the corner of the room. Pulls the cover off of a dingy-looking piano. My mother used to make me practice classics every day. I hated it, but unfortunately I got quite good, which meant more piano. But when Murdoch showed me his skill with stringed instruments, taught me about jazz, it didn't feel like a chore anymore. I used to joke that if we would terrorize the world if we got famous. It became clear to me after a while that music was just a distraction for him. Consider it far more important. Music can clarify how to spend the time that you've been given in life. Let me play you a little ditty. It's rather important to people from my country. You might add it. Not really, but it sounds nice. It's a ghost story. About a man who chose to take his own life over being a prisoner. Who did what he could to strive to be free, but until he couldn't. I often ask myself how far I could go to make myself free. And very far, it turns out. But I can't say it's the same for Murdoch. If he eventually chooses to stay here forever, our paths will have to fork. And I will do what I must to leave. I'm sure by now you feel the same way. He gingerly closes the piano casing, leaning his elbow on it and turning to look. Maybe you'll find a way to convince him to leave too. I'm not the persuasive type. I don't think that's true. I give him a look for that. You just proved my point. I meant that I think he loves you. Love's a strong word. We barely know one another. Ralph shrugs. Even if it's a crush that fizzles out, I hope you treat him better than the other people he loves. Lots of people fall in love with their whores. That don't make him special. He pinches the bridge of his nose. I know that. And so does he. But even if you planned on whoring forever, I hope you're bright enough to know that doing it here is a death wish. So the two of you end up depending on one another more than you think you should. An escape plan would be shrewd. Unless the two of you really do want to rot in this prison. Couldn't be me. I can feel my face stretching into a scowl. I'll think about it. I really hope so. What time is it? By now, should be noon. Where can I find Murdoch? I'm surprised. You never seen? Usually the siblings all have lunch together at the hip every Sunday. Do the sisters know what's going on in Echo? Ralph hesitates. Murdoch thinks they don't. But both sisters are very intelligent. Makes me uneasy. Perhaps you could find out for us. Doubt I'll find anything Murdoch didn't. Best of luck. Find my shirt draped on the couch and slip it over my head, then drag my suspender straps over my shoulder. Thanks. Lord knows I'll need more than luck. I take my leave and head back to the brothel. Ironically, Sunday afternoon at the hip is when it's the most crowded. That familiar buzz of clinking glasses and too many strangers talking in a room at once hits me, and it feels like home again. Welcome! Might I have a word? She drags me to the sleeve. By the sleeve. To the sleeve by the what? So where were you last night? We thought you would be back before dark. That was the intention. So what happened? Ran into a client. Got paid. Neither of those is technically a lie. Oh, Sam. You know that's dangerous. We're supposed to bring clients back here. Well, I'm fine, and my wallet's heavier. Maybe for now. Damn fool. You know me. She sucks on her teeth. Speaking of which, I was told my client last night was here right now. She crosses her arms. Oh, really? You might have seen him. Tall guy, red fox, camera slung around his neck. Shit-eating grin. That's the one. He's here with a party. Oh, back corner. I'd take you there, but... that Batavian weasel's there too. Oh. Could you pretty please fit him in for a booking soon? He keeps asking me uncomfortable questions, and only half of them are about you. I can't bring that up now, but I'll see what I can do. She sighs in relief. Thank you. I didn't technically make any promises, but okay. I wade through the crowd in the direction she points me in. Eventually, I see them. Murdoch sits in the middle of the table, flanked by his two sisters. Cliff is sitting next to Dahlia. Holly's there too, sitting next to her fiancé, whose dick I drained just a few nights ago. Because of course he is. Oh hey, it's Holly. And what I hope to God is a prototype sprite, because that looks unfinished. I loathe to admit it, but I wasn't enamored with our new priest. You can fucking tell there is a difference in the level of quality in these two drawings. Well, I should hope not. He's a priest. I don't know what Jim's fucking voice is. Don't go giving her any ideas now. Beasts of the both of you. The smaller sister sighed wistfully. There really was a Calvinist tinge to his homily, wasn't there? I'm so disappointed. Well, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. It's mostly Mormons and Lutherans all the way down the valley. I must begin. God, all these fucking accents are gonna drive me batty. I must again thank you for inviting me to Mass. It's familiar comfort in an unfamiliar place. You must have been unimpressed. Our churches must pale to the cathedrals across the pond. The weasel titters. He looks a bit uneasy. Well, I'm sure there's certainly more impressive things to gawk at than our churches, no? Such as? Why, our men, of course. He lifts his own bicep and... Oh, you fuck off. Fuck off, you fucking fuck. He lifts his bicep and gives it a quick smooch. What the fuck are you doing? Both of the vixens snort. But I suppose there's a divine presence in the landscape of the Western Plains, no? The meadows and quarries here are ancient, certainly like nothing I've seen before. This might be too much. Perhaps I should wait for the group to split before crashing any conversations. Is that Sam over there? Sam? Sam? Get off my dick, man. I know I'm the main character, but everyone wanting to fuck me? What the fuck is this? Extracurricular activities? Yoo-hoo! Hello, ladies and fellas. I've touched or been asked to touch the dick of every man at this table. I wanted to talk to him more. Me too. Me three. I can tell that Murdoch is faking a smile right now, but I probably couldn't have if this were a few days ago. Maybe if I would just focus on the women, this won't stay too awkward. I can't thank you enough for helping my brother out with picture day. And helping Murdoch run the store. Don't Alfred run the store? That might be what the deed says, but we all know who keeps things ship-shape. At least the sisters recognize that. Happens that I was looking to speak to both of you, too. Really? Out with it, then. I keep running into one of the students from the school, probably in places that she shouldn't be. I think her name is Blythe. Dahlia put on a bashful look and Holly's lips tightened. Well, if it's a student who's somewhere she shouldn't be, it's certainly Blythe. Bit of a ringleader, isn't she? But she does her work and cares about her future. She has a good mind for literary analysis. And arithmetic, too. Why do they think I care at all about her school performance? Okay, well, she was running around the lake with a switchblade last night. The two vixens looked at one another. That sounds like their family. I'm surprised it was just a switchblade this time. This time? It's all true, I was there as well. Why were you both down by the lake last night anyway? I needed some fresh air and exercise. It stuns me how ordinary Murdoch sounds when he lies. By the by, I'm glad you showed up so we didn't have to track you down. I was talking to Ma before church this morning and she says she would like you to stop by for dinner tonight. I tilt my head, wondering if I heard that correctly. She what now? Murdoch, whatever is putting you in such a tizzy? It's traditional for Mother to ask new employees over to dinner. But that's awfully short notice. Isn't it, Sam? It really is. But I have a bad feeling that declining the offer would get Murdoch into a heap of trouble. Or worse, get me fired. Tonight's fine. But she'll have to cancel. The smaller sister spoke up. Oh? For the briefest moment, I feel like the polite atmosphere shatters and there's some contention in the air. On account of? Me, of course. Astronomy Club is observing the heavens tonight. I've planned it for some time. Well, that puts a damper on things. I know. I'm terribly sorry, but it can't be missed. Plans have been made. People have been herded. Well, I'll leave you eggheads to it then. I'll deliver the bad news. I suppose it's time for us to be off then? I'll pick up everybody's tab. We can pay for ourselves. Well, if you insist. The couple leaves out the front door of the saloon and I let out a soft breath of relief. Samuel, would you like to join me for Astronomy Club tonight? I know you said you were free for dinner, but I just cleared your plans. Perhaps I could teach you a thing or two. On the one hand, this could give me more time to spend with his sister. I could figure out if she knows something about Echo. On the other hand, I don't know a lick about telescopes. I might be in over my head. I'm not the quickest learner. She smiles wide. That's okay. I'm told I'm very patient. I have to admit, I probably won't ever get an opportunity to see a telescope ever again if I pass this up. Don't even know what they're supposed to look like. Alright, I'll do it. Wonderful. Murdoch, would you like to join us? Sorry, sis, but I have to see Sheriff Adler. Again? But you said you already went to visit him before church. He wasn't available. It's urgent. It's always urgent. Murdoch sighs. Fine, do as you wish. Well then, Mr. Tibbets, how about you? Mr. Murdoch promised me to introduce me to more of the Masada community who settled in Echo. I see your frown more prominently this time. That's right, I remember now. This is for my research, so it's too important to ignore. But I'm still itching to see your telescope. Perhaps in due time. Seems like it'll just be the two of us after all, Mr. Ayers. Mr. Ayers. She shakes my paw. It's so small in my hand that I'm afraid I'll break it if I squeeze too hard. It's embarrassing when people use my last name and Mr. But maybe that's just because I'm not used to it. Meet me at the school at 7 p.m. then. Sure thing. As I go throughout the bells and whistles of my day, I can't help but wonder how this family keeps roping me into various activities without monetary compensation. I suppose it's because I don't want to upset any of them, but something about them rubs me the wrong way. But I can never pin it down, other than the terrifying parents. When I see the sun begin to set, I can't help but feel like I need to fulfill this social obligation. So I trek down to the school. Sign in. Wear another one of those gaudy visitor passes. and then make my way up to the library on the 3rd floor, working on a tiny fox pecking at a typewriter.
Ellie!
Sorry.
It's no trouble at all.
She plucks whatever it was that she was working on the typewriter and shoves it into her pocket. Dude, that's wet ink! Dude, what the fuck? You've used a typewriter before. You can't just rip it off and fold it up into your pocket. Unless you don't ever want to see it again. I trained with a typewriter, goddammit. That was my first computer class. That was my typing class in school.
Over here.
She pulls a key from her pocket and climbs up one of the library step ladders. She pushes the key into the lock of an attic door and she pulls down an unfolding wooden ladder with hinges.
Up this way.
She makes her way up to the top rather slowly. When she completely ascends, I start to follow. First, I check the ladder. Its hinges look brand new and well-maintained, like the rest of the library. A little creaky as I climb, but more than sturdy enough for somebody my size and weight. Wow, that is a lot. That is a lot. That is way too much to be in this town. Are you kidding me? When I'm at the top, she's already there waiting for me, sitting in a large metallic chair connected to a massive tubular machine.
Thank you so much for coming. The students will probably be very happy to meet you when they're here.
Students?
I'm not going to presume that you know anything, so let's just get started. Telescopes are machines created to capture more light than possible with the naked eye. Devices, which have the capacity to capture more light, can allow us to see objects from greater distances away. Normally I give my students instructions to search for a specific celestial body, have them calculate how many light years away it is, and then they map it on a star chart over the course of a year. But you don't have to worry about that.
I see. What the fuck is she saying?
The first thing you might have noticed is that we're in a giant dome.
I might have.
The reason why it's a dome is so that we can turn the telescope 360 degrees.
Who are you?
Like so.
She turns a large wheel and the large mechanical device turns on its axis, moving with the roof.
We can view east, west, north, and south skies, and we can use a compass to tell which direction is which. Look at the table over there. A star chart maps every direction in the sky at once in a circular map. And you can turn it different directions to see the direction of the night sky you're staring at. When I studied at university on the East Coast, we captured the movements of the stars throughout the year on glass photo plates. But pen and paper is sufficient for early learners. Do you have any questions so far?
Yes. All of them. No.
Great!
You know, I don't even know what a university looks like. But that Cliff fellow talks about his plenty.
It's a place where you pay a lot of money to access equipment you can't normally afford, and where you do a lot of hard work so other people can steal your credit.
Oh. So there were a lot of smart gals like you there, competing and stuff?
I knew a lot of women who sorted and studied plates, but generally only men were allowed to operate the telescopes themselves.
So how come you know how to use it?
Because I decided to do it anyway, and I didn't get caught.
Oh.
It's okay. I have my own now.
Can I use it?
Sure. Come take a look into the eyepiece. I have a hunch
I have to hunch down much more than her to look. What's that?
That is Saturn.
Why is it shaped all funny?
Because there's a lot of dust and icy stuff trapped in its gravitational pull.
What does that mean?
It means it's trapped in the orbit. The stuff can't crash onto the planet, and it also can't break free. So it goes around and round forevermore, unless something comes along and bumps it out.
Have you ever heard of an allegory? Have you ever heard of an allegory? So it's all just going in circles?
Yes.
It's pretty.
It is.
It's hard to stop looking at it. Am I actually enjoying this?
Alright, that's enough of that. Part of being a good astronomer is knowing what stars are brightest in the night sky without having to rely on a telescope.
She hands me a packet of paper that was sitting on one of the tables. I look it over and feel like I'm going cross-eyed. What does visual magnitude mean?
That's just a fancy way of saying how bright it is. Sol is magnitude, negative 26.74, and marked as rank 1, because it's the brightest.
What's Sol?
Oh, that's the sun.
Oh, okay. She takes a small scrap of paper out from out of her pockets.
Here are a few random ones to help you get familiar with some more of the names. Think of it as a scavenger hunt of sorts.
My head kind of hurts. I scratch it and look at the smaller pieces of paper she gave me. This looks annoying.
You're going to run into a lot of funny-looking names.
Look at Wezen 2028, 5'5", Vega, Capella, Falmouth, Aldebaran. I don't fucking know.
Let me know if you need help pronouncing any of them.
I look back and forth to the scrap of paper in the packet. I really don't feel like doing this. Can I look at Saturn again?
Well,
She nibbled on one of her paw digits before answering again.
I suppose.
We hear the attic door creak open. Both of us look over when we hear the wooden ladder squeak.
Sorry I'm early, Miss Burns, but
She stops climbing when her gaze meets mine. Really? We're gonna fucking cliffhanger on this fucking kid? Okay. I mean, it is an interesting thing, the fact that she's such a fucking delinquent, but also, like, the people who spoke about her seem to be blaming the family more than her. Because when they talk about her specifically, they're like, she really cares about her studies, she really is good at them, but her family is just the shits. And that's interesting, and also kind of draws parallels to Jenna in the main game. So, interesting stuff there. But with all that being said, that is the end of this session of The Smoke Room. I have no idea how many episodes this got cut into. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and want to play this game for yourself, the link to it is in the description down below. Obviously, it is still in development, but it's free, so feel free to check it out and be kind while doing so. In the description as well are various ways you can support me further if you would like, either by following me on my social media pages or through crowdfunding sites like Patreon or Ko-fi. If you want to be notified when further episodes of this game come out, the subscribe and bell buttons are there down below. Turns out about half of the people who watch stuff on my channel aren't actually subscribed, and that only hurts my feelings half the time. That's still 50% of me crying. And of course, if you don't want to wait for that, I have also linked in the cards up above some various things that I've already done that you can check out right now if you would like to check those as well. Also, there will be a couple of recommendations on the end slate as well, where it shows comment of the day and the patrons and all the cool stuff. Yeah, fun things. So, all of that being said, thank you all very much for watching this episode of The Smoke Room. I hope you liked it. God damn it, this fucking series just has a fucking tendency of not telling us a goddamn thing while also telling us a million things. God damn it. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I'll see y'all next time. I've been a trained and professional and you're not, whatever. Bye, everyone! And endings. I'm not good at endings.